Hello everybody, I hope everybody's doing well today. I'm going to cast the game right now between jAnGyUk as our blue Zerg player versus Choya, our red Protoss player. I haven't casted a Protoss versus Zerg game in a while and I figured, hey, it's about time. So let's check what we got going on here. We have Lost Temple and a... Sorry, I got a cough as of late. But we've got a close air distance spawning positions for both players, spawning on the left side of the map here. And jAnGyUk going for an early gas, followed by a pool, more than likely at 14. There is the pool, placed in this back position here. Now with Zerg, there are a lot of, you don't have many buildings to make for one, so the placement of it is very critical. And I've thought about this a lot, about where you want to put a pool and whatnot, so I don't think there's a definitive answer yet on most maps, but on this map I think that's a very safe position. It stops units from running around the back here and harassing you, which doesn't seem to be a problem as much whenever you're playing against Protoss, just because, you know, they don't have units like Terran does where like Reapers or Hellions can come back here and harass you, so maybe it's just instinct from playing so many Terran players. But anyway, let's check what this Protoss player is doing. And he's getting a cybernetics core, so no dual gate pressure from this Protoss player. He doesn't seem to be wanting to be too aggressive this game, but yet he is chrono boosting a gateway. He did run that Protoss probe in there, so he does know that speed is coming first with that first 100 gas, and transferring all of his workers off that extractor to minerals, which is something I've been doing for at least the past 2 weeks now when I play Zerg. Because, you know, after you get that speed for at least a while, you don't need that much gas. Your plan is for a Zerg player is, you know, get that expo up, get a queen, get more drones, get lings, get an overlord, and none of those things cost gas. So, you know, just save yourself, or actually not save yourself, give yourself a little bit better economy in the minerals and transfer out of that gas and back to minerals. But the key point is, don't forget to put them back on gas whenever you want to upgrade later on. And of course, depending on your build, you may want to do that, switching them over to gas sooner rather than later. So our Protoss player is going a standard defense right now, going that Zealot, then Sentry, and then Stalker. This Sentry, very good unit to stop any fast Ling, any Ling harass, or just a Baneling bust with that force field. So a very common opening from Choya right now. And he has 2 gas, very common. Looks like he's going to be playing for a, he's going to go for a 4-gate build right now. There's 3 gates, and no, not 4 yet. There he goes, building those probes. He was just holding back on the probes there for a second. Holding back on the probes there for a second to get those gateways up. Deciding not to chrono boost his cybernetics core, warp gate research, rather going for an economy build. So we might see a very long game right now from Choya. Very slow and steady playing defensive, which is great for jAnGyUk, which is going for a roach build. I've seen roaches become quite popular on the Asian server, on the Korean server. As of late, in a lot of replays, I've seen, you know, Zerg players just go roach versus almost everything. Very interesting. Well, I don't know how long that's going to be common, because at the very beginning of beta, when roaches were 1 food, like everybody went roaches. You go roaches versus everything. You go roaches versus battle cruisers, you know, with that 1 food. But since they changed it to 2 food and the armor reduction, some people just kind of got off roaches completely, but they seem to be coming back in the mainstay of things. So Choya definitely going for a defensive build right now. I guess he's anticipating a lot of lings, because he's going a lot of sentries for force field, so setting up that expansion, playing extremely defensive. He has not done any scouting since that initial probe yet. And we have a Stargate being built, so hopefully we'll probably see some maybe Phoenixes come out of it. That'd be very interesting, get that air dominance back. So that hatchery is finally being upgraded, and we've got both gas running down here as he started getting gas down here, so he's on 3 gas right now. 2 spine crawlers up front. Not quite sure what jAnGyUk's long-term plan is right now. He may just plan on massing roaches and See what kind of damage he can do with that. Being a little supply blocked right now is making one Overlord. And he has some very good placements for his Overlords, of course. One here on this high ground on Lost Temple. And walling off with a Forged Pylon and Gateway. Is he going to do any SCV? Or there we go. There goes the transfer I was waiting on. Just a little bit late there. Optimally, you want to have these workers ready down here to return the resources right as soon as that finishes. So he's just a little bit late on there. Nothing too terribly, of course. So both players doing a very nice job of scouting. You can see this wall of pylons here on the outskirts of the base to be early warnings vision against any Overlord drop or Nidus Worm. So we do see a Phoenix coming out. More Phoenixes being built. He does not have this Overlord speed for his Overlords yet, so all these Overlords out here on the side are going to be picked off very easily. It's going to be bad for jAnGyUk because he is already supply locked. And whenever you play against good players, you can kind of assume they're going to do this thing with the Overlord. So if you find one, it's kind of like following the breadcrumbs of units, and you can just kind of go along the edge there and just pick off units. So he's actually using that Phoenix to get some scouting information, not necessarily going for Overlord kills at this point. He just got that one. So he's running around, doing some scouting, getting some great information. Maybe that's going to determine what Choya decides to go here next. So he sees that Roach, he sees the Roach Warren, and he sees the upgrade coming. He did not see Hydralisk in, so I think he's going to start transitioning into Stalkers here to deal with those Roaches, and he may be even getting Blink. So still making Phoenixes. With that, he's going to keep using that Air Dominance here. Going to go around, pick off some Overlords, maybe do a little bit of scouting. He's going to find this Expo here at the gold. Now jAnGyUk at this point is sort of worried about those Phoenixes, and actually he does have a Hydralisk in. Where'd that thing sneak up at? I totally missed that. Oh, here it is, way in the back here. So he's actually going to start throwing in a couple Hydralisks there, of course, to deal with those Phoenixes. So we have level 1 upgrade attack from our Protoss player here, Choya. Let's check out their energy. He's doing a very good job of using his Chrono Boost here. Looks like we're going to have some Phoenix coming, doing some harassing, picking off some drones. And of course, as you guys can see there, my Graviton Beam, instead of being blue, is rainbow colored. So that's definitely interesting. Everybody I've mentioned that to is like, huh? It's a rainbow? What do you mean? So, yeah, I don't know. Here, it looks like we have a short pause. And this looks like Gisato is talking, so this must have been from Gisato's King of the Hill tournament he has, I think, every day on the Korean server. So using those Phoenixes to run around and scout. Our Zerg player slowly pushing out with this creep, sticking to the creep, and moving those Spine Crawlers up. Very nice play. Protoss player Choya looking in here, looking for some quick drone kills, but unfortunately for him, none of those have spawned. So those Roaches, or those Hydras do have that range upgrade. And it looks like we're going to see some pressure here from our Zerg player. Now, Choya, he's not... he's playing extremely defensive right here, but with those Hydras, he will have that range upgrade, so even if he force fields out here, those Hydras, I think, should still be able to hit these buildings. We'll see what happens. Those Phoenixes just doing a really good job of picking off these Overlords. Almost getting supply blocked again. He has an Overseer out. He's going to lose that if he doesn't pay attention. He's actually pulling back all of his units here just to defend this. He's got these Hydras here. He really doesn't need to be pulling his army back. Getting supply blocked again. How is he even going to pick up a Queen? Manages to kill off that Queen. So Choya is doing a very good job with these Phoenixes here, just a handful of them. Applying extreme pressure, doing a lot of damage, a lot of economical damage, and is keeping this Zerg player on defense rather than thinking offensively. And Choya's building up a Colossus here, so we may see Choya just diverting the Zerg player's attention with these Phoenixes, just like 5 of them. You know, you don't even see him making any more of them. He's switched completely into Protoss, or sorry, not into Protoss, he switched into Colossus right now. And of course making some more workers. He does have a lot of money right now. Definitely needs to be spending that. See how many warp gates does he have? Yeah, he's got a fair number of warp gates. He could probably use one more. And probably even maybe one more Robo Bay. Still doing a very good job on those Chrono Boosts. Very nice. So our Zerg player did lose that Overseer cocoon, or that Overseer the first time. Of course, getting that Overseer to try and pick off any Roach or any observers forced to have his entire Hydra army in his base. jAnGyUk is kind of losing his momentum he had her early game, and now feeling a very good timing push. He's pushing out with a very large army, 157 to 150 food for the Zerg player. And with those Colossus upgrade, he's got a 1 attack upgrade, 1 armor upgrade. This Protoss player has done a very nice job of manipulating this Zerg player this whole game with those Phoenixes. So we'll see. We're going to have a big fight here, but this looks like I think this Protoss player is just going to crush him right now with this fight. I mean, he does have a lot of Hydras, but these Colossus just mow through Hydras so fast. 17 damage times 2. And, of course, all that splash damage on the other units. So this Protoss player doing the wise thing, not running straight into here. He's coming around the top, trying to get a better angle. That way he knows he has a less chance of getting flanked. Actually, he's turning around. He's deciding he doesn't want to attack. So our Zerg player doing a very nice job just leaving 1 Ling over here on the side. He does not want... Normally, as a Zerg player, you'd put Overlords over there, but because of the map control and the air dominance that choya's had, he feels that is just a waste of money, which I would agree. So attacking from the bottom here, choya is going to push in Guardian Shields very nice. That will mitigate a lot of damage from those units. A lot of force fields going up. All this is just going to be a slaughter right now. Oh, this is not going to be good. Flying in those Phoenixes just to throw off Overlords at this point, kind of just rubbing in his face. And this is a very bad position for this Zerg player right now. All this Protoss player just eating him up. It's like watching somebody fall into like a lawnmower blades or something. Oh, that was disgusting. Just trying to build so many Hydralisks right now. He's building like 11 more Hydralisks. But this army is just massive. 149 food versus 126. I think choya only lost about 10 supply right there in that fight. Our Zerg player jAnGyUk finally making some corruptors, but there is just so much anti-air. I mean, look at his anti-air. He's got Phoenixes. He has Sentries. He has Stalkers. I don't see those corruptors getting anywhere close to this fight. Yeah, this is not looking good for jAnGyUk. He's gonna have to GG very quickly here. There's even some Graviton beams going on, some Hydras there, and more Stalkers coming in with the push. And jAnGyUk leading the game. Actually says GG after he left, so he's better than I thought he was. He can he can talk after he left the game. Very impressive skill. So let's just recap this game real quick here. We saw choya play extremely defensive in the beginning, getting those first, that's Sentry, Stalker, and Zealot, just to play defense until he has enough of an army to push out. You saw him build like 5 more Sentries right there just to wall off, just to buy himself time until he can get that Forge up, get this expansion up. Meanwhile, going Phoenixes, harassing like crazy, picking off units, just being a big pain in the ass to jAnGyUk. And even if the Phoenixes didn't manage to do that much damage, just the fact that he forced him to get Hydras. I mean, jAnGyUk may have not even planned on getting Hydras that game. He may have planned to stick only on Roaches. He may have planned to only stick with Roaches in this fight, and that may have been a decision he had to make in his head. Maybe he thought there were going to be some more Phoenixes, but either way, choya doing a very good job this game of controlling the pace of the game, playing safe, playing with purpose, and it seemed like he stuck to his game plan throughout this whole game. I bet if you asked him, he was like, yeah, basically everything I wanted to have happen happened, and it worked out really good in his favor. One thing I could say for the Zerg players at the very end, he had his whole army just kind of trapped here. He backed up in this position. And with the Zerg, what you really want to do is, especially against like a big blob of units like this, and especially against Colossus, is you want to split up your army in 2. You want to have like half your army here, and like the other half of your army, like, let's see if they're pushing up through this way, you want to have like the other half of your army like back here somewhere. So that way you can come in with the flank, and you don't have to worry about force fields blocking off like 90% of your army, and you don't have to worry about as much splash damage for the Colossus. So one little tip out there for you Zerg players, remember, just split up your army. You know, if at all possible, split up your army. And if you sense an attack coming, try and split it up and just get a really tight flank, and it will definitely go in your favor. May not win the fight, but it'll definitely be better than what you saw right there. So I hope you enjoyed that game, and if you enjoy my videos, please subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.